Hello and welcome to CX Today. My name is Charlie, and today I'm delighted to be joined by Gurpreet Kohli, a Global SBU Head of Telecom and Networks and Senior Vice President of HCL Technologies. Gurpreet, thanks very much for joining us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and thanks for having me, Charlie, here.
Well, it's great to have you, and we're going to be talking today about the critical topic of contact center resilience and the role of networks within that. But before we kind of get into the meat of this conversation, just a kind of quick few intro questions for you. So I think maybe we should probably start. Maybe if I give you the chance to briefly introduce yourself and your role within HCL Technologies.
I am with HCL for more than 2 decades, and I have been heading the networks and telecom practice. And contact center becomes a very focal part of that. And we have been working with the journeys of networks and telecom for various of our enterprise customers, telecom service providers. And we still run a very large contact center of our own, and we run this service for many of our customers today. So that is what I am, and that's what we represent from HCL Technologies.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you say, HCL is a huge global organization. So just managing the contact center there is, I imagine, a big task, but all the other contact centers that you're helping with. And I do want to dig into that a little bit more. Maybe if you could maybe perhaps share a short short overview, not interview, of HCL's expertise in everything contact center solutions.
So HCL Tech has got a dedicated practice uh, to address all the transformation needs of our customers, starting from consultancy, uh, uh, then offering the assessment of your contact center environment, offering you what kind of transformation is required to, manage all the operations thereon. As we know, that this is a very critical portion, and so you can engage us at any stage. And what we bring to you is the 2 decades experience of designing it, implementing it, and operating it. Uh, so uh, yeah.
Awesome. Well, you mentioned the 2 decades of experience that HCL has had within this space. It'll be interesting to hear, as we get onto this topic of resilience, maybe how the perceptions of contact centers have changed in that time as brands place more emphasis on the customer experience, and that I think that will link in very well to the kind of general conversation about why contact centers are so important. So yeah, if you could maybe share your perspective on that kind of evolution of the contact center.
See, nobody can deny that the customer experience has become the focal of all the digital economy today. And in that regard, it has become a key differentiator. How businesses differentiate between successful and what they can offer to their customers. So it is utmost important today that the contact center is able to deliver the right kind of experience through whichever channel a customer comes, and that has become a uniquely differentiated feature. Okay, and I will say that the contact center has become at the core of the businesses today, as we are becoming more and more cloud native, or we are becoming more and more digital, and the communication between customer and the provider is happening through digital means. So contact center is becoming a very, very focal and essential part of the customer experience.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. And as you mentioned, a very focal part of the customer experience. Yet there is sort of resilience has been a problem across some operations. You hear stories of kind of big operations with hundreds of agents just sit there twiddling their thumbs because the contact center is no longer kind of online. Can you maybe highlight a little bit about the impact of kind of network disruptions on customer experience and business service operations?
So, Charlie, you have brought out a very critical point here. The point about the network resilience and this medium of connecting with the customer to be always available and gen these demands. People want to access these platforms so wherever they are, and so the stability and availability of the underlying networks is becoming very, very critical. and even a small outage could bring a huge negativity around the brand as far as the value is concerned, reputation is concerned. And customers are now having a kind of feeling that this is something which should be always available, and if it is not, then that makes customers feel very, very jittery. So in my belief, that contact center down means the whole business for a provider is down, and that could mean that that he will be looking towards other options. So network resilience or the contact center availability has to be 100%. Anything less than that is something which is not desirable today.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's something I do want to dig kind of a bit deeper into. I was wondering maybe if you could discuss maybe a bit more about the concept of network redundancy and its significance on contact center operations. And maybe as well, if you could explain some of the various kind of failover mechanisms that ensure an interrupted service.
So basically, the point is that how much of resilience can I provide, and how can I maintain that the latency which is under control, because today's contact center experience is not about just providing a voice connectivity. It's about the video, it's about interacting with the contact center agent, it's about the rich media which flows over the conversation as I'm having conversation with you. So selecting the right kind of technologies, which is direct internet access or SD-WAN on top of it, and then also whether the footprint of the contact center should be there on the public cloud, in public cloud, which public cloud, and if it's a global company, then it should be I have to host it at 3 or 4 hubs or 5 hubs. So all that assessment and study has to be done. And we have to make sure that we make it in such a way that even if the failover has to happen between two instances, then two instances are not like thousands of miles apart. So that designing has become very, very critically important. So we understand over the wireless or the wireline how this contact center's experience has to be uniform, whether we will be leveraging the underlying 5G technologies or the Starlink, Iridium satellite technologies. So we are trying to encompass all into it, and plus with the dedicated manpower who knows what the skill-based routing is, who exactly knows how to respond to the customer. By respond to the customer, I mean obviously there will be a team which will be responding, but how to get that question to the right agent is something which we specialize in.
Yeah, so many really great points within that. So thanks, Gurpreet. And what I'm going to do actually for everybody that's watching that wants to kind of dig in more, I'll leave a link to HCL's website in the description box. Maybe a couple of really helpful uses that they can use on this really crucial topic. But I think maybe for now that's a great place to end this conversation. So thanks very much for joining me today, Gurpreet.
Thank you, Charlie, and thanks for having me once again. Thank you.
Absolutely. And thanks to everybody for watching. Bye for now.